welcome back to another video where today we're going to be learning about Python decorators. Now decorators are a little bit more advanced, and especially as you get to know how they work a little bit more as you're in your progression of Python, you will see that they're a little bit more harder to learn than other topics. And today we're just going to be going over the basics of decorators and how they actually work and the use cases of these Python topic. So the reason why we actually use decorators is to just add extra functionality to our functions for a wider range of use cases, and you'll see how that works a little bit more further in the video. So before we actually start with decorators itself, let's just define our little main function. So for now, this main function won't take any parameters, and inside this main function, we can simply just print, this is the main function, and below that, we can just say, we can print this is looks like I cannot spell this is the function we are decorating with. Okay, this is just a simple function, and if we were to just call this main function regularly on our terminal, we would see outputted. One second, guys. We would see outputted. This is the main function, and this is the main function we are decorating with. Quite simple, nothing crazy as such, and yeah, okay. But let's add an extra function here now. Okay, let's say we have another mini function. Looks like I really cannot spell today. And for now, again, this won't take any parameters. We just want to keep it as simple as possible, just to cover the basics of Python decorators and nothing else more crazy. And we'll say here we can print out this is the baby function. And if we were to call this mini function as such, right here like this, as you can see, what we would get is this is the baby function. Basically, whatever is embedded within this mini function, that is what we would call to the terminal to be outputted. Now, this is where decorators actually come into play. Let's presume I wanted to apply these two lines of code to this mini function. How could I do that? And decorators are built exactly for that. Okay? So to do that, I'd actually have to use nested functions for decorators to work. So within this main function, I'll define another wrapper function. This wrapper function will contain all the code within the main function that we're going to be wrapping around and adding to our mini function that we're going to be decorating with. Okay? So let me just indent this real quick to make sure it's part of the wrapper function. Okay? So this is the wrapper function. This is what we're wrapping around our mini function. And I'll show you how we wrap it around a little bit after. So, after we've defined the wrapper function, within our main function, we actually have to return that wrapper function so we can actually get that output value in the terminal. Okay, so let's just kind of recap what we did. We have a main function. Within that main function, we also nested a wrapper function. And within this wrapper function, we defined two lines of code that prints this is the main function, and this is the function that we are decorating with. These two lines of code are the lines of code that are embedded within the wrapper function that we're gonna decorate and add to our mini function. Okay, that's the function that we're actually gonna decorate with. Okay, so after we've defined this wrapper function and added all the lines of code within it, we're going to return this wrapper function within the main function. That's to show that, hey, we're telling the computer that we are going to output these lines of code and actually add this return wrapper to that mini function. Now to actually decorate the mini function with the wrapper function embedded inside of the main function, we need to use the @ symbol. After we use the @ symbol, we don't actually call the main function, we simply refer to the main function. And what this says is that we're saying @main. @main meaning we're applying this main function and everything inside it to this mini function. Okay, and once we apply this main function to this mini function, it will have all of these two lines of code embedded within the wrapper function into this main function, and then we return that wrapper function once we have defined all of those lines of code that we're adding to this mini function. So now, if we were to call this mini function, not only would we get this line of code, we would also get these two lines of code as well. However, there is a small issue. Sure, we are just decorating this mini function with our main function. But the main function doesn't know that this is actually a parameter to, main function is actually a parameter to this main function. So we actually have to pass a parameter in our main function called func. Of course, this can be whatever we want. This can be, called apple. It can be called ball for all we want. It can be anything. However, I'm going to call it func just so you guys really understand what it is. So we pass in a parameter function inside of our main function, and that parameter function is actually going to be the function that we're decorating. Okay? And now we can actually work with that function parameter within our wrapper function, and that's going to be within the lines of code that we are decorating with and adding to our main function. So here I can say, I can just call the line function, and I can say, I can print out, I just called the function, the mini function. Okay? And so a quick recap once again. I define the main function and I pass in a parameter of the function that I'm actually decorating. Then I define a wrapper within that main function that tells me which lines of code I'm actually wrapping around and adding to my mini function. Within the wrapper, I can include anything I want. I can print this as the main function, and then I can actually call the function that I passed in as a parameter, which in this case is the mini function, and that's how I work with it within the wrapper function. That's what I'm decorating with. And then I can print, I just call that mini function to the terminal, just so the user knows that, hey, we're working with the mini function now. And I can print, this is the function that we're decorating with, and simply return the wrapper, of course, outside the wrapper function, but still within the main function, to tell the computer, hey, I just returned that wrapper function and all the lines embedded within it. That's the lines of code that I'm going to be adding to my mini function. And then I actually define my mini function below that and put whatever lines of code I would like in my mini function that tells the computer what to do when I actually call a mini function here inside of the main function. And to actually get the main function and apply it to the mini function, I'll use the @ symbol and refer to the main function's name. Now, I don't actually call it like this. I simply just call the main. Okay, I just refer to it. And now, once I actually call the mini function, as you can see, what is outputted is this. We get, this is the main function as determined by the first line of the wrapper code, the first line of code in the wrapper function, and then I get, this is the baby function, and when we call this function as denoted in line 12, after the main function, after we define it, and then I get, I just called the mini function. This is the function we're decorating with as the third and fourth lines in a wrapper function. And of course, we actually have to return this wrapper for this to work. So the computer knows, oh, we're returning that value embedded within the function that we are decorating with. Okay, so that is Python decorators for you guys in just quick 7-8 minutes, just so you guys understand the the concept of it and how it actually works, and why we actually use it in the different use cases applicable of decorators in Python. So if you guys learned something new and enjoyed this video, I highly encourage you to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot, and I really, really appreciate the support and encouragement that you guys provide with these comments, likes, and subscriptions. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.